Hey, this is the Dragon breathing fire at you. Make sure and you keep listening to The Roman Show.
Now for The Roman Show with the legend, Hall of Famer, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
For taking some time, Ricky. First and foremost, you've had a long history of wrestling down here in South Florida. Tell me about coming down here, seeing the people, the atmosphere.
You know, Florida has always been one of my favorite states. I grew up in St. Pete, and I don't know how many people know that, but then it's always been a real pleasure to come back here. They have an old saying for a Floridian, and they say once you get sand in your shoes, you'll always come back. So I try to practice that at least once or twice. Well, I've been coming back to Tampa every week now for the past year and a half, and I've been going to the school there, and I help teach, coach, or instruct. But prior to that, I've always tried to come back to this state at least twice a year, just to go to the beaches and just hang out with the people.
How about Miami itself?
Miami in itself, the memories that I have here in Miami in itself is just basically coming in and doing the shows. But one thing I didn't notice out of a lot of the other cities across the United States, just other than being based out of Florida, the Miami crowd is loud, very loud. And for us entertainers, the louder they get, the better it is, you know. So either the way we're performing in the ring and we're getting our point across to the fans that are watching, but we love the rowdy people, yes.
Tell me about when they always describe with the late Macho Man in the matching. They always say it as the best. What do you
well,
think?
you know, God bless Randy. And we didn't know it at the time, but for so many years, everybody was sort of using the basic blueprint of a match, you know, and that would date all the way back to maybe the 50s. Unbeknown to us, that, and because of the heated argument that we had between the two of us, that our match, we would go after each other from the bell, you know, and there would hardly be any time to settle down. And we would go as hard. We had a personal thing going on just between Randy and myself, and we have an expression in our business. And the expression goes like, who's going to blow up who? In other words, who's going to be the first guy to run out of gas? So, one guy pushes the other guy hard, the other guy pushes back a little harder. And that went on through the whole match, And come to find out that by the time the match was over, we had several of the WWE staff come up and tell us that was the best match that they've ever seen, and that there was something like 20-some false finishes. In other words, one guy trying to beat the other, and then back and forth, which was really changed a lot of the way today's guys look at a match. I am told that whenever a coach or promoter is looking at somebody new, and that person says, how do I construct a match to where I got the fans sitting on the edge of their seat? And they all say, go get the Ricky Steamboat Randy Savage match, you know, made in 1987. And here it is 25 years later, and people still talk about it.
That's what I was going to tell you. I mean, they use that as a tool to get these guys, these up-and-comer guys.
Well, they look at that match and they see how it went. You know, one thing made for sure, everybody after they're watching that match, they come away saying this, and that is, you got to be in shape to do what we did. It was a match about 20 minutes long, but when you go 100%, for that length of time, you've got to be in. I remember coming back in the locker room.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
I remember coming back in the locker room and standing over the sink and looking in the mirror, and my skin was blue. Lack of oxygen. I was blue. You know, like it was just. And I heard the referee come over and he said, I said, man, look at me. I'm turning. A lack of oxygen. I'm blue. He said, Savage is laying on the floor.
You were up.
In his locker. I said, yeah, but the only thing holding me up was the sink, you know. Gee whiz.
Tell me about that when you spoke to Randy afterward. I mean, wow, great match.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, we have a lot of respect for each other, and everybody's also, it takes two guys to really make a match. It takes two guys to make a boxing fight, like the Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier's, and all the other fights that follow that go down in the history as a great fight. It does take two people. You cannot have just one person and then another person out there with the attitude, well, I'll just try and get by tonight, or I just don't feel up to it. You got two guys that are true professionals and love what they do and go out there and do it at 110% or the best of their ability. There's no denying that some greatness comes out of it. And that's been proven, whether it be a team game such as American football, baseball, basketball. You talk about the LA Lakers and the Boston Celtics, the great rivalries that have gone down in history. But the bottom line is it all has to come from the heart. Nobody can teach you that. Nobody can condition you that. Nobody can show you and run here and run there and jump here and jump there, and that's going to give you a good heart. You have to have heart. It's sort of born in you. Maybe it's in the genes. I don't know. Maybe it's from my mother and father. But that makes a very competitive nature. That obviously, as you know, guys that have a lot of heart, they won't give up, right? They strive to be the best. And I believe, and I truly believe that.
Thank you so much for taking enough time.